What's good in a podcast hood? It's your host, Luna Nova, and I'm here with the first episode of Mystic Monday, where we explore the strange, the spooky, and the unexplained. Tonight's story is one you won't forget. A tale of a simple love spell that spiraled into something dark, dangerous, and nearly impossible to escape. Now, this story was submitted by one of the hoodlums from the channel, so if you're listening to this podcast when it's finally aired, hello, and thank you for your submission. We greatly appreciate the spooky shenanigans. And remember, if you yourself have a creepy or paranormal experience of your own, you can send it in to the Mystic Muse Creations for a chance to feature it right here on Mystic Monday. She wasn't a witch, at least not in her own mind, just curious and lonely. And like so many before her, she turned to the internet, where a love spell promised her quick results. As it required a photo, a red candle, and a few whispers, nothing could go wrong, right? I mean, we're here, aren't we? But I digress. She lit the candle, placed his picture under it, and recited the spell. The flame waved violently, like the air itself had resisted what she was doing. But instead of fear, she felt a rush of excitement. After all, love magic was supposed to bind two hearts together forever. What could possibly go wrong? Now, to her surprise, almost immediately, he began texting more, showing up where she was. At first, she felt flattered. The spell was working, it was giving her everything that she wanted. But soon his affection turned into obsession. I knew it. It always winds up being like that. Y'all, this is why I tell y'all not to play with these love spells, especially if you're not an experienced practitioner. But I digress. Because this poster wanted to remain anonymous for the sake of the story, we're going to call her Ashley and we're going to call him Ben. So Ben started showing up outside of her job unannounced. I mean, he would call dozens of times a day. Ben's once gentle tone grew sharp, desperate, and even angry when she wouldn't answer. When Ashley was alone, she swore that she could hear footsteps in her apartment, even when she knew for a fact that nobody else was there. The spell hadn't just opened up her heart, it opened up a door. Days turned into weeks, and the energy grew heavier and heavier. Ashley, at this point, just couldn't take it. Ben had confessed that he had dreamt of her every night and that he could feel her thought. Am I reading this right? Oh my. Ashley, girl, you in danger. You gotta go. Ashley, let me tell you, as an experienced practitioner, if any man or any person is sitting up here telling you that they can feel your thoughts, sorcery, witchcraft, you gotta get the fuck up out of there. Now, outside of being completely delusional and deranged with the way that he expressed his love for Ashley, he also said that when she wasn't home, so I guess he was spending time in her apartment, when she wasn't home, that he would see shadowy figures moving around when she wasn't there. Yeah, something's on Ben. Ben gotta go. Matter of fact, just get rid of the whole house. Everything gotta go. Cleanse and start over, baby. Now, this part of the story I found very interesting because, again, I am a very experienced practitioner, and this was a very interesting detail that she put in here. She said that the red candle that she used in the ritual never really blew out. Like, as much as she would blow on it, she would try to snuff it, it would not go out. Now, in my experience, that means one or two things. It means that either spirit is letting you know now's not the time to put out the work, like your spiritual cord is going hard. They're making things move for you, things that you can't see. Or there is an opposing energy that doesn't want you to stop what you're doing. And again, that could be for a good or a bad thing. So again, Ashley's made several attempts to try to get this candle to go out, and it's just not working for her. But what got really interesting is she said when she finally could get the candle to go out, there were plenty of times when she would come back, whether she would leave the house, take a nap, eat and come back, whatever. She'd come back and find the candle lit again. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen wicks split off into two. I've seen candles burst into flame. Like, I've seen all types of stuff, but I've never seen a candle relight itself. I don't know what you got going on or what is on Ben, but y'all got to stop playing with these TikTok spells because we don't know where this came from. One night, Ashley said that she heard scratching on her bedroom wall. Nothing from outside, but from inside her room. Frightened, Ashley jumped out of bed and she said that she ripped that picture from underneath that candle and tried to burn it, but the flames would not take to it. Ashley said it was freaky, something that she had never seen in her life. It was like the spell almost had a life of its own, binding her to him and binding both of them to something else. Yeah, see, again, this is why you don't play with things that you are not familiar with. So at this point, Ashley got desperate and she decided to seek out a elder practitioner who unfortunately told her what she had already feared, that she not only called in his love, but she tethered their spirits. And by doing so, she invited something so much darker. And the reason why it seemed like the spell had a life of its own is because, in a sense, it did. And it was alive and thriving because it fed off of Ben's obsession. Now, at this point, Ashley says that she has cut ties with him, ended the contract, and performed a cleansing ritual to break the spell. About time, girl, because the signs were in front of you and you wasn't doing anything. Now, Ashley said after she did this ritual, unfortunately, that very same night, she still could hear footsteps. And not only was she still hearing these footsteps, but the amount of shadow figures that she was seeing had increased, much more than before. And for the red candle, oh, baby, why'd you do this? She says she just threw it away. At least she threw it away miles away from her home. I will say that. If you're worried about some spell work that you did, you never, ever, 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 ever dispose of it in your own home or anywhere that you visit frequently. You always dispose, especially workings like this where you feel like it's something you shouldn't have did or something against someone else, you bury it and dispose of it away from your home. At least you did that much. Good job, Ashley. But the freakiest thing was, Ashley said after she had done this ritual and disposed of everything, that the red candle appeared in her apartment weeks later on her kitchen counter as if it had never left. Oh my God, that would terrify the fuck out of me. But what exactly do you guys think? Did she simply bind herself to a man too tightly, or did she unleash something else in the process? This is why some love spells are extremely dangerous rituals to attempt because obsession isn't love. And the energy you call on doesn't always leave when you're done with it. So be mindful of what you're calling in. If you enjoyed tonight's Mystic Monday submission, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm curious to see. Overall, I think obviously because nobody ever fully explains the steps of what they're doing in certain rituals, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly what went wrong outside of the fact that she decided to get a spell off the internet. Take it from someone who, again, is an experienced practitioner and receives submissions like this on a daily. Like, not even trying to be funny, I get at least about 3 to 7 messages like this a day. People doing all types of rituals and spells that they know nothing about and begging for me to undo them. This is why I tell my clients that you have to be careful because men put roots down too on women, all right? Don't be fooled. I know the story was about a woman, but the amount of men that come to me for work is astonishing. At the end of the day, when it comes to matters of the heart, you always want it to be organic. You never want a situation of this. You don't want someone being obsessed with you because, like I said before, obsession is not love. Obsession is actually extremely unhealthy. And a lot of y'all got to look in the mirror and say that, I'm the problem because you are. I love you. I love you enough to tell you that. It's okay to be the problem, but you need to be self-aware enough to acknowledge it so we can heal from it and get you the right person. Because it's not that I can't get you what you're looking for. You're just not going to be happy with the results once I do it. Because the goal is for you to not only heal, again, I truly am a practitioner who believes in helping my clients be the best, most authentic version of themselves, best healed version of themselves, or at least in the process of healing, because we're all working on it. But I want you to find again an organic attraction because that's what I can really manifest for you quickly, easy, and with no hesitation, no outside forces trying to push it away. Because if you're so focused on a target rather than an energy, and I'll repeat that again, if you're more focused on a target rather than an energy, it's never going to pan out the way that you're looking for. But if you're trying to manifest an energy of strong, attractive, whatever, I can get that for you. So, respectfully, don't hit my line trying to sit up here and trick some little picklehead boy into being your man when you know he's for the streets, when you know he's toxic. That's not the person that you actually want to settle down with. I had to tell one of my homegirls the other day. She said she wanted me to help her out with making her baby daddy obsessed with her. Respectfully, I'm not going to do that because you really don't want that man. You just don't want him to want nobody else. We all got toxic people like that. Don't be one of them people. Let me correct myself. Let me not say toxic people, but toxic ideologies and toxic behaviors, because you can have toxic behaviors without being a toxic person. You can have a couple of things about you that ain't 100% healthy, but it's not to say that you're not overall healthy. So I say all of that to say, get your mind right so I can help you manifest what you really want and need in your life, okay? But that is all that I have for you guys today for Mystic Monday. I decided to keep it short and simple and cute today because I do have a doozy for the next one. So I will see you guys next Monday. Be sure to drink your water, mind your business, and stay prayed up and protected. And as always, Luna loves you. I'll be back with another episode for Mystic Monday if the spirits allow it. Ta ta for now. Give it right back, did it give it right back? This look, baby, can I sit right back? Wanna give it right